the best team we're not talking about. The Pulse newsletter Megaphone, this is the Athletics Daily Sports Newsletter. Sign up here to receive the Pulse directly in your inbox. Inside, basketball inside the W's best story, Infantino's worsening spiral, one college football top 25 blueprints. How a new team has taken over the W on the surface. Everything about the WNBA's business is exciting. Expansion franchises keep popping up.
Love watermelon but hate the sticky cutting mess? This compact 2-in-1 tool slices neat cubes and flips into a retractable fork for easy serving at parties, picnics, or home. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/3 right now.
A new collective bargaining agreement helped juice player salaries. The league's profile has never been higher, and it's truly entered the zeitgeist. Advertisement, but there's something about a sudden popularity explosion that feels perilous. More importantly, can said explosion actually translate into staying power? Or does it dwindle to its previous state? The Golden State Valkyries are a model of this new reality as a stable, mega-popular franchise. In just their second year of existence, the Valks are already the best pro sports team we aren't talking enough about. It's the focus of a great feature from Brian Hamilton this week. 2 points I want to highlight. You can look at most pro sports leagues outside of the NFL and find examples of expansion franchises bombing. You can blame league rules, bad market, whatever. But so many of these new teams fail to grab attention out the gate. The Valkyries have avoided all of that. Golden State made the postseason last year, its first in existence. This year, the Valks are 21-9, tied for the league's second-best record. They're a legit title contender already. Maybe it's the owner, Warriors headman Joe Lacob. Maybe it's the market, which is used to good basketball and is ripe for WNBA support. Or, as Brian illuminated, maybe it's the way the team treats its players. The examples of simple support blowing away players are astounding. News to know: Infantino calls crisis meeting. FIFA President Gianni Infantino requested the organization's senior leadership meet in Morocco today to discuss the roiling, self-inflicted crisis that could lead to Infantino's ouster. It comes on the heels of Infantino's now-scrapped FIFA Forward Enterprise Plan, which would have essentially sold stakes in the global governing body to private investors. The criticism of it has been nearly unanimous via people within FIFA and its member organizations. Every finger is pointed at Infantino. There was other positive soccer news yesterday, though. In the Premier League, Arsenal is closing in on a deal for Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes, a U-turn from the club's refusal to sell Guimaraes earlier in the window. Now he's the latest big exit from Newcastle. In MLS, Real Salt Lake is close to sending American wingback Xavier Gozo to EPL club Crystal Palace after a breakout season. Expect to hear the 19-year-old's name soon for USMNT service. Speaking of the USMNT, the Americans put 4 friendlies against Peru, Chile, Mexico, and Canada on the calendar over the next 2 months. A reminder to keep up with our transfer deal sheet before the window closes. Sept 3 big NFL deals training camp is also a time of contract negotiation, as we've seen plenty of deals get done in the early days of the NFL season. 3 hefty numbers to report from yesterday. The Falcons and Bijan Robinson agreed to a 3-year deal that makes Robinson the highest-paid running back in NFL history by average annual salary, $22.25 million. He's worth it. The Bears and right tackle Darnell Wright inked a 4-year extension that guarantees the 4th-year player $93 million. Investing in the trenches is always good. And, in a move that surprised some, the Ravens and receiver Zay Flowers shook hands on a 4-year contract with $108 million guaranteed. Flowers is now the 4th highest-paid wideout in the NFL. A tough tennis day injuries dominated the tennis world yesterday, as superstar Carlos Alcaraz pulled out of the upcoming Cincinnati Open while he continues rehab on his injured wrist. The timing is unfortunate. The Cincinnati Open is 2 weeks before the U.S. Open, and Alcaraz's continued absence means he could miss a third straight Grand Slam due to his wrist. Advertisement later, it was Jack Draper's elbow, an issue that's dogged him for over a year now, causing tears during a loss to France's Terence Atmain at the ATP Masters 1000 Canadian Open in Montreal. Draper has missed much of the tennis calendar since late last year with his chronic elbow issue. 4 in the world, Draper now sits at no. Just look at the 24-year-old Brit realizing the elbow betrayed him again, a brutal turn, but he does intend to play the Cincinnati Open. More news: the first college football preseason coaches poll is out, with Ohio State taking the no. See the full 25 here. Tarek Skubal was solid in his first game as a Dodger, despite it ending in a 5th straight loss for LA. It felt like my major league debut, he said. Tennessee coach Josh Heupel slammed the NCAA for suspending Vols linebacker Arian Carter. I agree with Heupel. Falcons edge Jalon Walker tore his ACL in practice yesterday, a source told The Athletic. Tough. A couple of days after I wrote about Aaron Rodgers mellowing out, he started a battle with Dr. Shore. Bryson DeChambeau led a LIV players, only meeting to discuss the uncertainties surrounding the flailing league. Everyone sounds happy, but it feels ominous to me. A.J. Williams, the #1 men's high school basketball player in the 2028 class, reclassified to 2027. Read more on him here. I love how online Kevin Durant is, but sometimes it gets him in trouble. He angered former Warriors teammate Klay Thompson yesterday. The WNBA expansion franchise in Cleveland has a name: the Sirens. See their logo watch guide television MLB, Pirates at Brewers 7:40 p.m. ET on ESPN. Paul Skeens takes the mound against the best team in baseball, though the reigning NL Cy Young winner has had a tough go in his last 2 outings. Pittsburgh needs him to be good here, as the Pirates sit 1 game under .500 and 3-1-2 games out of the NL wildcard with the stretch run ahead. Television Leagues Cup. Atlético de San Luis at Inter Miami 7:30 p.m. ET on Apple TV. Get a glimpse of Leo Messi post-World Cup here, as Miami begins its Leagues Cup journey against a team that struggled in Liga MX thus far this season. If you're up late or on the West Coast, stick around for El FC Guadalajara at 10:30 p.m. ET, also on Apple. Television WPBL. Hunters vs. ET on ESPN Plus need something new for the remaining days of summer? Give a look to the fresh Women's Pro Baseball League, which is playing its inaugural season. The first-year schedule runs for a month, with all games played in Springfield, Ill. Pulse Picks. I really enjoyed this column from Shakia Taylor yesterday on why we have to start enjoying the on-court magic of basketball more than whatever happens off it. Relevant post-MLB trade deadline, our latest power rankings. Yankees top prospect George Lombard Jr. homered in his MLB debut last night. The ball landed in a lucky fan's hat. Notre Dame's strength coach put our Pete Sampson through a workout. Most clicked in the newsletter yesterday, QB tiers by a mile. Most read on the website yesterday, Index.